Hey, this is Mike with Headrush at NAMM 2017 here at the Headrush booth, and this is the Headrush Pedalboard. What you see here is the world's first standalone amp sim with quad-core processing and a fully featured 7-inch touchscreen interface. So what does that mean to a guitar player like me? When we set out for the development of this, what we set out to do was three things. We wanted to focus on tone, so all the sound, the versatility, so all the options, and user friendliness. And we really felt like a lot of other brands out there were really, hammering it down with how great things sounded and all the options, but the user-friendly part of it is just really never been there. It's almost like everything inside the box has evolved, but the UI has just remained the same. It's like 30 years old. So now with this touchscreen, it's very intuitive. We all walk around with touchscreens in our pockets, and so we just know what we're doing from the get-go. So what you have here is a clean slate. This is what you would see if you were going to start a brand new rig from scratch. So you would just touch one of the empty blocks. Let's go ahead and just select an amp. I'm going to select from our drop-down here one of 33 different amps that are in this first lineup here. I'm going to grab something like a Mesa Boogie. Now as you can see, it automatically pairs it with a complementary cab. But I could adjust that cab or change that cab just by double tapping it, and then I could select from one of 15 different cab options and one of 11 different microphone options. I can even adjust whether or not I want that microphone to sit on axis or off axis, and I can adjust the breakup of the speaker. Backing out of there, let's go ahead and just dial in a little bit of the EQ from the amplifier. You notice when I touch the amp, it highlights and it throws the parameter options off to the right-hand side of the screen, where then you have tactile control to manipulate those different parameters right here. So if I just screen through, I have access to my EQ. So I'm going to go ahead and just dial this in based on what I think I want. And let's go ahead and just hear how this sounds for a moment. So very, very responsive, very rich, very realistic. Now there's a couple things that I listen for when I'm checking out modeling amplification devices, and that is, first of all, when I'm playing full, rich, lush chords with a high gain setting, I want to see if the note separation is really, really there. And you can hear that it absolutely is. The other thing I like to do is I like to dial back my volume knob and really just listen for the dynamics and see if I can get the dynamics of the guitar to come out. So it's definitely there. The responsiveness is exactly what you would expect if you were plugging and playing in an amplifier, and all the sound quality and the dynamics are really well represented here. And then you could continue to set up this chain exactly the way that you normally would. For me, if I was doing a high gain amp, I would probably put some sort of compression up front. Probably front load it with something hot, so maybe just like a tube screamer. I might want to make adjustments to that tube screamer. You can even color code it to your liking. And then come over here and adjust the drive, all the different parameters on that particular pedal. Okay, so just for kicks, let's throw something like a reverb on the back side of it. You have multiple different reverb options to choose from. I'm just going to grab something kind of cool like an arena, and I'll adjust the mix down so it's not overwhelming. So now we've set up this signal path and it's sounding really good for us, but let's talk about how we would utilize it in the performance aspect, because obviously we're not going to want to reach down and touch this during a performance. So let me show you what we can do here. I'm going to go into stomp mode. And as you can see, this reflects all the different blocks that we have represented on the screen here. Now personally, I might not want my overdrive up here on the top row because I'll take off my glasses and I'll be blind and I'm going to try to step, I'm going to trip and fall and look like an asshole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that around. So I went into hardware assign and now I'm just moving this here to the first row quickly and easily. Same thing with the reverb. Oh, what the heck. Let's go ahead and just throw the compressor down there as well. So now we have access to those all in the bottom row, and as you can see, our signal path is completely intact, where you would have to do MIDI assign or a lot of convoluted ways of assigning that, and anything else you can just simply drag and drop here with the touchscreen interface. Another cool feature too, again, being on the floor in a real life situation, you might want to make adjustments in real time while you're playing. Maybe you want to roll back some of the mid-range on your amplifier. So you can just push down with your foot on the amp, and as you can see, now we're in hands-free mode, and you can select any of the parameters on that amplifier, and you can adjust those in real time using the expression pedal. Super cool way to just dig in right away and be completely hands-free while you're in the middle of a performance without having to worry about bending down, going back to an amplifier behind, in the back line and making adjustments there. It's very, very cool. So the top things that you really need to know about this is touchscreen interface, touchscreen interface, touchscreen interface. In addition to that, because of the DSP capabilities, it's really pushing, because of the quad core processing, the DSP capabilities are just through the roof. So you can get a lot of rich, lush sounds here. And we also have a universal onboard looper. The looper will give you up to 20 minutes of loop time. It will give you unlimited amounts of layers. And then you could also multiply, divide your loop. You can speed it up, slow it down, and you can put it in reverse all in real time. So there's yet to be a standalone looper that does this. That's just an added feature to what we have here with Headrush. It's very, very cool. So, hey man, thanks so much for visiting me over here at the Headrush booth at NAMM 2017. For more information, you can jump on our website. That's headrusheffects.com. And again, this is Mike with Headrush signing off at NAMM 2017.